welcome back to another card making video with Jackie. Right. Today I have 10 cards for you, but first of all I want to show you. I have a big box and it's all my Christmas stuff in it for card making. And I had a good hook the other day and I found Paper Boutique and Gnome Holiday that I'm going to make cards with. Strips, toppers, sentiments, and like you get the same three, you must get them, I don't know how many times. 36 sheets, 6 designs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you get sister-in-law and everything if you wanted to do names. But I found that one. I found Paper Boutique Beverly Eden Christmas Gnomes. And I have a set of these cut out ready to make cards with. And it's just the same things over and over again. You get the ordinary and Christmas sentiments. You get some strips. You get 4 square toppers and then a few rectangle ones. And you get these. Enjoy the festive season. And then it starts all over again. So you got 36 sheets and 6 designs. I did find this one, but I don't have. Oh, I do have. Oh, look, I do. I thought I didn't have. You get papers with this one, and I thought I didn't have any of the toppers left, but there's some at the back there. There's 4 at least I could do. Right, tons of papers. Right, I've got 8 toppers I could work with. And those are the papers. And then, what else did I find? I found papers. I found a ton of, and then I found this one. Now this one doesn't rock my world as much. It's got, you could use these as toppers. And then it's got the papers. So there's lots of blue papers. This one doesn't rock my world as much. But it's in there to be used. And then I found that Katy Sue Designs Papercraft Grayscale Christmas Collection. Makes 120 card toppers. And it's, you can cut out. I took my dies and I cut out whichever. Now these are bigger ones at the front. I'll do it this way, it would be better, and then you could see what you're looking at. So a kind of wreath. This is actually a cake stand in the shape of a Christmas tree. This is like presents. This is a stocking filled with stuff. Then this is the bird house, and I've used one of these in my cards. These are Christmas trees. Now it's mainly the bigger ones left. because I've used a lot of the smaller ones, but there's the smaller size. Like you get 4 on each page. Oh, that's pretty. I like the tinier one in the birdhouse. I didn't see that one. So you get the Christmas tree. Like, I've made 10 cards, and I could make another 50 cards with these. Then you get a bigger one and 2 smaller ones. And I've also die cut out some of the greetings to use. And then and that is it. So let's get straight into the cards that I made with this. Right, we'll go for this one since it's sitting on top. And it is a gatefold card. I made the background with white card and a snowflake stencil. I cut out my image with a stitch square die, and then in red foil card I cut into it with a couple of dies to give it a frame. I've added on my poinsettia with a little gem in the middle. I have used foil card as my mat. I've added a foil card mat for my Jingle All the Way, and that is card number 1. I hear the bin man, I hear the bin man. Number 2, quick and easy, a mat, a paper, cut out of my mat, cut out with a rectangle die, a Merry Christmas, 2 snowflakes and 2 red gems. Number 3, I like this one. I like the silver. So I had this piece of paper and I wanted to use it. So I cut a silver mat and then cut my paper to, well, my paper size dictated the mat. Then I cut out my topper with a stitch square die, and I cut out my mat with a postage edge die. I've added on some red and silver snowflakes, a little red star, a couple of little stars, and a bee jolly. Number 4, my red mat, paper from my stash. This little, you can just about see this little frame that I cut out of the mat. And this time I added a stitch square in gold. And the next size down is my topper. I added a gold Be Merry that is layered 3 times, and I finished it off with some gold gems. That was 6 by 6, 4 1/8 by 5 3/4, and 5 by 5. This one is 6 by 6, and I just took my paper from my stash and added it onto my 6 by 6 base. I had this frame circle die in my stash, so I cut out my topper with a stitch circle die and added this little red frame over the top of it that was in my stash, and then I put these up to give it a bit of dimension. I added my From Our Home to Yours onto a white mat and finished it off with some red gems. Okay, another 6x6. I like this one. I like it. The topper didn't have any green in it, but I have added the green to it. First of all, I picked my topper and I cut it out with a stitch circle die. And then I found the paper and I thought I'd like to use that with that. So I cut a red mat, cut my red circle die out of it and added on my paper. Then I went to my green card and cut out a green glitter mat for my topper, and I popped them up on top of my red frame. I added a merry and bright and some red stars. And the last 6x6. So I have cut out my topper with a stitched die and cut the next size out with the same die. I've added my mat, I've added a paper, then I popped these up. I cut a couple of white foliage dies and put red berries on them and added my poinsettia with my big red gem in the middle, and this is done in foil card and gold glitter red card. So this one is 5x7 and it's really simple. I've cut out my topper with a rectangle die. Then I cut out my frame from the silver card, added the silver mat onto my card base and a paper on top. I've layered my Happy Christmas a couple of times and added it onto the corner and just finished with some red stars round my sentiment. This is an A5, I would say. A5. It's a stepper card made from a sheet of 8 1/4 by 11, and I have, first of all, I cut out my topper with this shape stitch die, and then I cut the mat out in foil card. I took some foil card and matted it onto this strip and these two strips with my paper on top. Then I added in this holly die that is cut with some shimmer card, and then I added a let it snow that has been layered up a couple of times on the bottom. And inside of some of these I do have some of the sentiments. Not all of them, I don't think. Just some of them, I believe. Warm, heartfelt Christmas wishes just for you. Oh, with love at Christmas time. Right, this one doesn't have one. This one I showed you. Have a perfect Christmas with love and wishes for your happiness at Christmas time and always. May the magic of Christmas bring you happiness always. I do have another card to show you. I got sidetracked by looking for the insides. And the last card is this one. And once again I cut out my topper with a stitched die shape, and then I took the second size die up and I scored the inside of it onto a piece of silver card, and I cut round that because the next size top of these dies was quite big looking, and I wanted it a little smaller so you could at least see the paper. So my paper is, this is a 4 1/8 by 5 3/4, and my paper is on a piece of grey card as well. Couple of foliage dies in the shimmer card and a poinsettia in the corner to finish. And those are my 10 cards with Katy Sue toppers. And I think they're gorgeous. I really love them. I'd be more than happy to receive one of those cards. So, thanks for stopping by. As always, greatly appreciated. Please remember to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. And I hope you're all safe and well, having a great day. And until the next time, bye.